Hello students, welcome to the class of BA Part 2. We have done summary critical analysis of loyalties as we have started reading Loyalties, a play written by John Galsworthy. Today I will discuss Galsworthy's art of characterization in Loyalties. There are so many characters as in Loyalties, as Galsworthy is a conscious artist. He has his own elaborate theory of drama. He remains true to it all through his career. With regard to characterization, he says, the perfect dramatist rounds up his characters and facts within the ring fence of a dominant idea which fulfills the craving of his spirit. Having got them there, he suffers them to live their own lives. Take care of characters, action and dialogue will take care of themselves. To him, the portrayal of characters of prime importance and weakness or failure in this job would, he knows it well, shall mar the prospect of successful exposition of the dominant idea, the social problem. There are so many characters in the play Loyalties, just as Captain Ronald Dancy, Ferdinand D. Lewis, and so on. Galsworthy does not worry at all about making heroes or villains of the traditional type. He could do so it only at the expense of his purpose. To a humanitarian like him, all human beings are important and deserving of affection and sympathy. The problem, we may say, substitutes the villain in his drama. Let it be known first that Galsworthy's characters are mere types and not individuals. He is not usually interested in characters as such. His characters interest him by their mutual relationship and not as exposition of individual personalities. His persons are the embodiments of ideas, and yet they appear as blind forces of society and opinion which drive the helpless man to his own, yet they are not without some human touch. As we see Captain Ronald Dancy, he is a DSO and retired army officer who thrived on the excitement of war and languishes on the placidity of peace. After creating his own excitement with horses and women, he gets himself into trouble by stealing some money from a house guest while he himself is a guest. His friends stand by him against the accusation of the man who has lost the money. In the end, however, it is clear that he is guilty. When the police come to arrest him, he goes to his room and shoots himself. And in this way, Loyalties presents character who embodies certain ideas and ideals and yet remain as flesh and blood. For example, Windsor represents gentlemanly hospitality. Canning is the spokesman of the fine tradition of an army officer. Boring stands for the code of honor prevailing in the club. Margaret typifies the fashionable women of London. All these characters are drawn from the upper middle class of English society. Along with such characters, we have individual characters also who may be types. Mabel is the type of faithful wives, yet she strikes the note of singular character. There, there are other characters too. Then we see Ferdinand de Lewis, a prosperous Jew who has risen to wealth by degrees, having started very modestly. So, De Lewis, for example, represents the Jewish race on the one hand and on all his own. Dancy is a study of an impulsive youth who is constantly a daredevil. As a psychological study, Dancy is an admirable conceived character. His behavior is consistent with his impulsive nature and reckless temperament. Galsworthy, we see that Ferdinand de Lewis sells for £1,000 a horse Dancy has given him, and Dancy steals the money. De Lewis is unpopular with the set at the house where he and Dancy are guests. He shows poor form by openly accusing Dancy of theft before his friends. When Dancy drops his suit for defamation of character against De Lewis, the latter is willing to let bygones be bygones. Then, the different attitudes of the people regarding Dancy's behavior are known to us by their conversation. Galsworthy brings out the inner traits of his characters by speeches as well as by ideas. It may be affirmed that their unexpressed ideas often provide an insight into their nature. It is true that Galsworthy has given no heroic souls in royalties. The characters are here simply the victims of certain impulses and powers which they are unable to control. Such characters and quite familiar persons like us. Loyalties gives a picture of our own world with characters who are true to the world as we are. हमारे जैसे ही वर्ल्ड की पिक्चर गैल्सवर्दी जैसे कि हम हैं एज वी आर लाइक वी द कैरेक्टर्स आर रिप्रेजेंटेड इन द loyalties. The minute detailed description of them in stage direction make it quite clear that they belong to this world. For example, Charles Windsor is a tall, fair, good-looking man about 38. He is known as taking off a smoking jacket. Dancy has a pale, determined face with cheekbones small, deepest dark eyes, reddish, crisp hair, and looks like a horseman. Margaret Orme is a young lady of about 25 in a vivid wrapper. She is smoking a cigarette. De Lewis is a dark, good-looking, rather young man. His face is long. General Canning is a slim man of about 60, very well presented, intensely heat and self-contained. His eyelids droop slightly, but his eyes are keen and his expression astute. Mabel Dancy is Dancy's wife who is loyal to him, even after she discovers that he is a thief. Next comes the character Jacob Twiston, Dancy's attorney, who is tough and straightforward. He discovers that Dancy did indeed take the money and advises him to drop his suit against De Lewis. Charles Windsor, Dancy and De Lewis host at Meldon Court, where the theft takes place. Polio Ricardos, an Italian wine merchant whose daughter has been intimate with Dancy. Ricardos threatens to expose Dancy if he does not provide for the daughter. To get the money to pay Ricardos, Dancy steals the £1,000 from D. Lewis. This was the real reason of theft committed at Meldon Court. Meldon Court, who is the house of Windsor. General Canning, Dancy's superior officer. When it becomes apparent that Dancy has stolen the money, he offers Dancy a billet in the Spanish car. So we see that Galsworthy's comments on the habit, we can comment on the habit of Galsworthy, and we can say that there are quite enough to make the character stand out before us in clear outline. An example of this, selected almost at random, it will be sufficient. For this example, we can give the example that Lady Adela is fair, about 35, rather delicious and suggestive of porcelain. So this type of description is made by Galsworthy when he is describing the personalities and the character of Lady Adela, who is the wife of the owner of Meldon Court. So here we can see that this is the art of characterization in Loyalties, written by John Galsworthy, as Galsworthy is a conscious artist about characters. Thank you.